day 8 time. Now, as we already know, this one doesn't contain yarn. We've got our gorgeous little number 8 there, and we're going to get in. And I've said every time it's the even numbers that I can't get in, so she seems to stick them down better. I don't know why. I'm going to rip across the top because I'm impatient. So let's see what little gift we've got in here today. Oh, here's a little bag. Oh, they're quite nice. Oh, I like them. I've not seen shaped ones like that. They are actually wool needles, but they're shaped at the end, which I suppose makes sense for certain projects. So I'm going to try and get them out of the bag so I can show them you properly. They are metal. Can you see? They have a nice big eye there, and then they've got this curve at the bottom. Now again, I'm going to have to plead ignorance here and hope one of you, my friend Julie told me last time what the difference is. She's probably going to know the same again. So we've got these curved needles, like I said, they're quite nice solid metal ones, so that is quite good. So I'll find out exactly why they are curved. I suppose it does make sense sometimes if you're trying to get in something, like when you've got, oh, itchy nose, excuse me. You know, sometimes when you have to curve into something, that could be a reason. I don't know, we'll have to see. But I am going to show you something else as well today. Now, I did say I've got some mustard made stitch markers. And I did say I probably bought a few too many stitch markers. Christmas, well, one of them isn't Christmas, but the rest are all Christmassy stitch markers. I've got absolutely all sorts here. Got a little bear, he's not Christmassy, I just thought he was adorable. We have a little Father Christmas here, Christmas wreath. There's so many with Christmas jumpers, with a little owl. There's what else we've got. Oh, we've got a little Christmas tree. You see my little Christmas tree? And let's see what else we have. We have a little Santa's hat there. So I think I've got enough to keep me going for a while, even though I keep saying I do not use stitch markers. But they are cute. You can't not buy them. They look really nice. And I just love the way they're packaged. These have got little stones in the top as well, the enamel ones. So they're a little bit more special. And then we've got the little cabochons. I've got a little, I can't see it there, can you? What am I doing? I've got a little Christmas tree there. There's all sorts in there. It's quite a lot. So I will try using them for my projects sort of each day, so you can see a different stitch marker each time. So I'm going to put that on my desk now, ready to do some work. So that was number 8. I'm losing track. I don't even know what day I'm on. Yes, it was number 8. So I will see you in a few minutes for the next project. Bye. Hello there. A bit of a messy table today, but we're going to be making this little chappy here. Little Father Christmas or Santa Claus that you can hang up on your tree or wherever you want to pop your decoration. It'll look quite nice on a gift tag as well. So we have him there. We have our cute little stitch marker from What Mustard made to match him today. Little enamel one this is. Double knit yarn. We have a sparkly white, a red, obviously for his clothing, and a skin tone of your choice. We have my scissors, a 3.5mm hook, some sewing up cottons for the details, and oh, that's magnet stuck, and my details and my needles for doing that. So we can move all that to one side. We don't need any of those at the moment. Now this isn't hard, but it does take a little bit of concentrating on getting the proportions for his face. So we'll take it steady and see how we go. We can move the red to one side because we're going to be starting with this gorgeous sparkly white, the same one as I used for the snowflake. So, hook, where's my hook? Would help. I put it to one side with my scissors, there it is. Slip knot on. Let's move these little guys to one side just a little bit, and I'll move my yarn over there as well. I like to work with it from one particular side. We're going to start with 2 chain. We're going to do our 6 double crochets into that first chain. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Tighten it up. Now this is where it might look a little bit weird. If you don't like the method I'm going to do, every time you change colour, just snap off your yarn and go to your next one. It'll mean a lot of sewing up and sort of a little bit of knot tying at the end, but if you're not comfortable with what I'm doing, it's still the same quantity, but it's just a different method. So we have 6 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Into the first of the 6 I'm going to do 2 double crochets. In the second of the 6, 2 double crochets, and same for the third. So that's given us 6 now in the white, but we also want 6 in the skin tone, so I'm going to be changing the colour. So I've wrapped my skin tone yarn around my hand ready to crochet. I'm going to pull it through there so it's ready. Pull it nice and tight, but this I'm not fastening off, but I want it to run alongside so it's ready for when I do the next bit. A little bit harder to see in this skin colour, it might be worth skipping forward to see it when I do it with the opposite, but hopefully this is going to make some sense for you. So I'm going to go in the stitch, but that's the stitch, that is my white I'm running along one side. I'm going to pull it through, pull it tight, and I'm going to do 2 stitches into that one stitch. Same again, and I'm running the white along the back, 2 stitches into that one, and one more, 2 stitches into that. So now we have 12 stitches, 6 of which being white, 6 of which being skin tone. So now I need to swap because I'm going back to white. So if I drop the skin tone, pick up my white on my hand, now you can see the skin tone a little bit easier now to run alongside whilst I'm crocheting the white. And I'm going to be doing 2 in each one again, so we're going to end up with 24 stitches. So 2 in the first white, you may need to just pull that tight, make sure I'm running it side by side, because you can see I'm picking it up as well. That's our second one. So I'm not letting that skin tone drop behind, I want it along that line all the time. If you've done it before, you'll be happy with it. If you haven't done it with before, I recommend you try it. It does save in sewing ends, but don't get stressed about it. As I say, just go back to the sort of stop starting and sewing in at the ends if you prefer that. So let me pull on tight in the middle as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So we are now swapping again. So I'm going to drop my white, pick up the right bit of the skin tone on my hand, and I'm going to run my white along the back of that skin tone, 2 in each. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now I know this next bit looks a bit weird because you're going to go, oh, but there's another skin one. I don't want that to be the case. I want to I deliberately am going onto the white, so I am swapping again. I think it looks better if it goes behind that rather than in front. You have to watch your yarn because it gets tangled at the other end. So I'm going to run it alongside, and we're going to do 2. I know that is a skin one, but we're still going to do 2 because I'm slightly raising them at both sides. So we have 2 in that one, 2 in the next one. So this is, oh, where are we going? This is 3. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm hoping I've got 12 at the end of this. 9, 10, because I need to do one more after that. 12, That's 11, 12 should be the last white one. That's right. And then I want to do one more white one. So it's like going up his cheeks slightly. And then one more set of 2, should I say. So it just takes it up slightly. So it's like his beard is sort of shaping up around his face. Now I'm going to drop and I'm going to change back to my skin tone. This is the last bit for the skin tone, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to double check what I have written there actually. I'm just going to do 2 in each of our remainder. So how many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, because I've got 12 here. I would have had 12 there, but remember I pinched 1 either side. Oh, throwing it away now. Untangling it. This is why I take your time. Make sure your yarn's in position. I still need that white, so I've still got to run it along the back. So I'm actually going to do 1 in each, because his beard's bushier rather than his face. So I've got 1 in each, still running my white along the back. I'm not so sure this one's not going to come out bigger than the other one. Yep, so I'm going to say that is it. That looks about right, because I'm going to continue with his beard, and as you can see we continue with the beard, but then there's also a little bit of hair at the top there that I want to do, so we do have to do that. So I can actually say this one's gone now, the skin tone, so I'm just going to give it a little snip, remove any spare bits, not that I've got much left of that one, so I'm going to put that over there. Remember, you will tie that in after. I'm not going to worry about it at the moment, although perhaps we should do a little tie. I'm going to do a little tie. Some people do, some people don't. It's just that I don't want it to go anywhere. Okay, right, so now I'm going to do 1 double crochet in every single stitch. Easy time now, easy, easy. So not so easy to explain that first bit. I hope you've got what I'm saying. Just take your time with it. Not necessarily sort of rewind, restart. If you know what you're doing, obviously you can fast forward ahead. I do love this sparkly yarn. Around we go. So I'm nearly around the beard, but I'm also going to go around his head because I want it to sort of indicate a little bit of hair. It's one of these that I found quite easy to do. When you've got it, it is easy to do, but it's quite hard to explain. Sometimes the easiest ones are the hardest to explain. I know a granny square can be a little bit like that, or when you have to write a granny square pattern down, that one's a tricky one to verbalise. Right, I'm almost round, because obviously we've got a little set round his head now. Yeah, so you can see the middle bit's gone a bit loose. Let's pull that a bit tighter. So you can see we've got a little bit of face and an awful lot of beard, which is what we are looking for. I'm just going to turn my page over because I have a little bit more to do on this beard. You need slightly, can you see how I've sort of made him slightly sort of crinkly? I just thought I'd give him a little bit more sort of structure there for that. So we are going to go around again, but this time, you see the size? We're going to make it crinkly, and by doing that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my next stitch. Yep, because that's a bit still hair. I want to go in there. I'm going to do a double crochet, then I'm going to do 4 chain into the next stitch, double crochet, 4 chain into the next one, double crochet. So you can see what I'm doing. All I'm doing is into a stitch, double crochet, 4 chain. Into the next one, double crochet, 4 chain. And you're going to do that all the way around. So just 1 double crochet, 1 4 chain into each stitch. And by doing that, it's going to give us this frilly bit. Oh, we're about a third there. No, a bit. No, we're halfway. We're halfway. Was that 3? I think that was only 3. So we got 1 2 3 4 double crochet. 1 2 3 4 double crochet. Again, if you know what I'm doing on this, you can just either pause and wait till you've finished, or you can just fast forward slightly until I get to further up his head. So we're almost there. You see how crinkly we're getting? Yeah. I'm sure this fella's... Oh no, look, I was going to say he's coming out bigger. He's not. He's about right. Sometimes it looks odd until you finish the detail. It doesn't always look like you've just been doing. So 4 chain, double crochet. He just feels bigger for some reason, but he's not. I've got maybe a couple more. So 4 chain, double crochet into the next stitch, 4 chain, double crochet into the next 6. That's because I looked up and saw there was a message on my thing and I saw the number 6. Right, I'm going to say it's there. I'm going to say it's there. From now, I'm just going to do 1 double crochet round. So that's just for his hair. So 1 in each, all the way around, till we get to the other side of his ear. I suppose we could all say this is his hair, or is it the bottom of his heart? I suppose it's both really, it probably blends in. Right, that was the last one. Maybe one more. Right, I'm going to do 1 chain. I'm going to turn my work over and I'm going to do 1 line in the white across. So we're a row now rather than a round, and that is what we're going to be working in from now on, rows and not rounds. I think I have done this very slightly different, but it won't make any difference to your finished product. So I'm going to get rid of the white now. No white, and it's going to be all about the red. We don't have Father Christmas without red nowadays, so here we go. He's got a lovely red hat there. So I'm going to just join in the yarn just by pulling it through. There are different methods for joining up, entirely up to you which you prefer to do. I've just done it that way. I'm just going to give these two a little tie so I don't lose them later. Because you're alright sewing them in, but if they've not been tied up, they're still going to come loose. So it is important that you do that. And I'm going to do a chain in the red. I'm going to miss the one directly below it. So I'm not doing this one like I would normally for a row. I'm skipping it and into the next one. Don't worry about these, they will be sewn in afterwards. So we're going to go red all the way along this white. Now we need to decrease, obviously, because he's got a pointy hat there. So we've gone all the way along, and we're not actually going in that last one, we're going in the next to the last one. Okay, so you've got your first base of your hat colour. We're going to chain up 1, we're going to twist it. We're not going in this one, we're missing this one. we're going in the next one. This is giving us like a little decrease. Each row we should be decreasing stitches now. We should have one less on each side. And right, I think we've got one more there. Chain, turn. Can you see we've gone in a little bit? Don't go in the one below, go into the next one, and we crochet across. And we go into that one. Yeah, so it's not sort of going into that one at the end there. It's not obvious though, that's the only problem. You do need to make sure you are decreasing though. Chain, turn, not in that one, in the next one along. You don't really need to worry about counting, just make sure you are decreasing at each side. I think one more. Chain and turn. See, we're definitely coming in now. Missed that one. Into the second one. Last one there. Chain, turn. So we're not actually going into that last stitch. I said last one, but it's not the actual last stitch because that would have been the stitch. Miss one, over it goes. Because there, it's hard to see, but that would have been your last stitch. That's why I'm saying we've not gone in the last one. Chain, turn, miss the one below, into the next one. We haven't got many more to go. You're nearly there. Chain, turn. How many have we got now? We're going to aim to get down to about 2. So that's 2, 3 and 4. Chain, turn. 1, 2 and 3. Chain, turn. These are the last 2. 1 and 2. Chain, turn. So we have a lovely little point there. Now we want a little loop. So I've just got a little loop I've made there. So we're going to go from 10 stitches or more, it's up to you. So we already did 1, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Loop it back into that second stitch and give me a slip stitch. That's it. We have done the basics of our Father Christmas. Tie it nice and tight. The worst bit is sewing our bits in, but because we did that bit where we were running along, we have a few less. Otherwise, you'd have been chopping and changing and we'd have had a lot of stitches there to actually sew in. So we'll sew a couple in. You don't want to watch me sewing them all in. Let's have a look on our time. We're on 20 minutes at the moment, so that's not too bad. Let's get rid of this one because I didn't tie it very well there. That's it. I'll tie it a little bit tighter. Doesn't want to go in. It's the only problem, because I like a sharper needle, the eyes are usually a little bit smaller, but it's worth the sort of pain of trying to get into them. So I'm just going to run it along the red. And snip off. Now, as I say, I'm not going to fasten it all up. That is basically what you do with all of it. And if you've been doing my other tutorials by now, you'll be quite content with sewing in. I still think he has come out. He's got a bigger beard, hasn't he? Look at this. He's got a much bushier beard. I think it's because I went up one more stitch than I did on this one. But it still works well. Now, if we add a little nose in the middle there, again, a massive difference. When you add the detail, it changes things. These are just basic pom-poms. They're just, I got from Children's Craft type pom-poms actually. Now, I've been searching for that one for the last 2 days because I couldn't find it. But I've just stitched those on with the white thread and the red thread that I have. And then I have these 2 little tiny eye beads here. And again, as I've done with my previous things, I did it with my snowman tea light particularly. I'm just going to stitch them on wherever I fancy. Changes his face shape. I mean, that looks quite cute actually. I did mine quite close together, but I might do the second one wider. That's not going to stay there, is it? Now, if you don't want to stitch on, or stitching is not your thing, there's no reason why. Stay. Actually, I quite like that. I think I'm going to do that one that way because he looks a little bit fatter than my other one. So he'll just have to be Father Christmas after he's eaten too many mince pies. But I think that one's quite cute. So I'm going to do his eyes like that. Again, it's just stitched in. Nothing fancy from there. You can add detail. You could perhaps put a bell here or whatever you fancy doing. So I'm hoping that first bit made sense. I think that was the hardest bit for me to try and explain. But let me know how you go with it. Any sort of queries, I will try and help as well. But thank you very much for watching on this one. Our Advent's slowly but surely building up. We're catching up with everything. And I hope to see you soon. Bye.